Yeah.
Okay, good morning, community. James Colored reporting. Today, I have Valerie Van Wyk, who's from one of the KHOISAN movements. She's going to give us her side of the story and educate us about what this KHOISAN movement is all about. So, good morning, Valerie.
Morning.
And welcome to the G4J show this morning.
Oh, thank you.
Valerie, I just want to start off by saying thank you for inviting me to interview you. And I'm sure the community at large would like to actually have clarification on what this Khoi movement is. And I must say, forgive my ignorance, because myself, I also fall into that category. I'm ignorant to the fact of what the Khoi movement is about, and I believe there's not just one house. Maybe you can educate the community on how or this Khoi movement came about, and how do colored people become affiliated by DNA, or how does it work? Please explain to us. So, just to bring, so the coloreds can start making an informed decision as to whether they want to join this movement. Thank you.
Thanks. Thank you very much. I'm so glad that we're doing this interview because our colored people have been miseducated. The history has been manipulated. We've been so indoctrinated. And the perception of the colored means that we are from black and white or a mixed race. It's either some race that you are mixed with. I am a researcher for 20 odd years. I don't even know when I even started, but anyways. For 20 years, I have studied this KHOISAN, supposed to be KHOISAN, which I don't agree with. They gave us the colored word, the derogatory, which you don't even know what it actually means. We love the colored word. I love the colored word because of the people that we are, and the unity that we have, and the people that we are. So when I saw this, what the colored word really means, derogatory connotations to it, I started realizing so much more to it. And also because of my research, going to other avenues. So I had to put everything together, like it's like a puzzle that I had to put together. And it all really makes sense why they want us to have this colored derogatory word. Okay? This connotation that they make us believe that we are mixed race is to take us away from our inheritance, from being the First Nation, and also for us to claim back what is rightfully ours. That is one of the reasons why they are making sure that we as colored, they make us believe that the San people are the only ones in the First Nation. I also found out through the research that we are the First Nation. We were here long before anybody that came over here. All these people, they say colonized. We were never colonized because we were not conquered, and we are not dependent people. We were independent. Okay? That's also another lie they make us believe. They make us believe that we don't have a language. We do have a language, and English and Afrikaans, which is actually they have separated the English and Afrikaans because that is actually, they call, is the Hebrew language. Hebrew means the oldest language. And I found out through my research that English was actually not the same English that we do speak today. They stole our history. They stole everything about us, and they gave it to some kind of it's England that will have some history of ours. Israel will have our history. Ethiopia will have our history. Madagascar will have our history. Saint Helena will have our history. They done that to take away everything that we are supposed to know about ourselves. So, because I also went into the biblical side of our history, I found out that we colored, supposed to be colored identity, are actually the Hottentot Kafra people. You don't hear them talk about Hottentot Kafra. You'll hear them talk about Hottentot, Bushman, the Khoikhoi, the San, all these other titles. I don't really worry about that. All I am interested in is that we are the First Nation, and how I got to know that we colored people are the First Nation is because of our biblical history. I have come across some maps, and also the castle in Cape Town is also one of the main stories. When you look at the castle in Cape Town, they broke down the real castle and they built another castle to make you think that that is where your history about the castle comes from. But the castle that they broke down is really where our Hottentot Kefra supposed to be colored identity, actually where the history comes from. So when you see that one, when you see the pics of that castle is totally different to this one. And plus two, they said that the bricks that they used was red bricks. It's not the bricks that they actually show right like today. This is a newly built castle in Cape Town.
Thank you. Valerie, sorry not to cut you short. I don't want to just lose track of what we were speaking about. I just want to ask you, so what inspired you to start doing research about the First Nation, as I'd like to call them?
I always wondered, who are we? I always asked, why is it that we are not maybe managers or supervisors? We don't have businesses. And then I also do know, because we come from the Transkei, and my grandpa and I was actually born in the Transkei. And I started differentiating with the different races, you know, the categories. It's like the white superior, Indian second, like we the third, we just the manual workers, you know, we the bricklayers, and we the till controllers and things. And I said, like, why, especially like me, I asked, like, why can't we work in offices? Everywhere I'm going to, I'm only seeing white and Indian. Do we have brains? That was one of the questions I was asking. Do we have brains? Maybe because of our hair structure. That because I got sisters that got straight hair and I don't have straight hair. So like I'm asking because they were clever and I wasn't so clever at school. So I started questioning all these things. Is this the reason why? And then when I did hear about the land claims, it was what's his name, George Gangadine. And then I started going to meetings, and then I started realizing that I'm not colored. And then I started realizing that I'm Griqua, because some of my family comes from Griqua. But as time was going, I started finding more information about myself. One of the things I would like to, please, I need this here. I need to say this. I stumped around on information that the Madagascar people are also Hottentots. I found out that the St. Helena people are also Hottentots. I found out that the Dans and all these other people that they say that's not, that they colored and they mixed and whatever, they are not. They are Aboriginal. Okay.
On to my next question, Valerie. Valerie, tell me, I hear what you're saying. If colored people are the first people, and you're saying that you can take us right back to the history in the Bible, and well, then certainly we are descendants of Adam, and it's good to know. But if let's say, for example, people need a presentation or they want to see the proof, do you have any documented proof? Or you have dossiers of them, or you have it compiled on maybe a data or stick, or
I got
you have. Wow. So it's okay for us to say you welcome the challenge. If anybody needs to know what the history is and how you found it, you do have.
I do teach on WhatsApp.
Document. Okay.
I do teach.
Wow, wonderful, Valerie. Also, I want to just quickly, it's not, I don't think it's only colored people who would want this question answered. I believe you stumbled onto a land, either land claim or monies or that. Can you maybe just
talk more on it?
Tell us? I'm trying to find the right word because I don't want to offend the community.
No, it's fine.
Yeah. So can you just touch on that and tell them how you found it, and also to encourage people to come and join you, because obviously if there's money out there for our people, then clearly they must come and claim it. Now, how did you find it, and is it secured, and is it possible? How do we go about becoming part of the claim? Because yes, you just said to you need to explain to the people how do they qualify? What qualifies the people to receive this money?
Okay. First of all, we categorize everybody that has the colored identity, because you are actually the Aboriginal. Okay, so that is the first thing. Even if you are South African and you have migrated, and that you are overseas, but your inheritance is still here in South Africa, so you also qualify. Anybody that is internationally national, this is your inheritance. All right, that's first of all. How I stumbled on this, I was doing a lot of court cases. I had Cape Town, Johannesburg. We did the constitutional. I'm working with Edgar Adams. Okay, I don't want to leave him out, because me and him, we were like husband and wife. We were doing this. We were doing a lot of different cases which no one knows, that we've been running around Cape Town, Johannesburg, all over, trying to get attorneys, and we couldn't find attorneys that didn't want to do our case, and then we ended up doing the cases ourselves, because we found out that we can do it, because we knew now the only way to fight is by learning. So we went through trials and tribulations from 2006, and from 2006 only now that we finally did win on the 31st of August in this year. All right, it's about 2 months ago. So we challenged this government in their courts, but with our law. So what we did win in the court case was to get back the whole of South Africa, not just one land or two lands. This is the whole of South Africa, and the whole of South Africa belongs to all the colored people. Y'all all are shareholders, y'all all are beneficiaries, and something they didn't give us from 1909. They put our lands in a trust, and with this, now the land being in the trust, okay, remember? So what's on this land? It is all the raw materials, it's all the mineral resources, it is all the fauna and flora and whatever that is on there. Now, we are the beneficiaries of that trust. So this state have decided, because they're saying that we are incapable of seeing to ourselves. We are dependent people, because that's what conquer means, dependent, okay? So we had a system before they came. I am coming from it's another long story, I don't want to debate too much about it, but I come from the family of King Moshoeshoe, which is not black, I'm talking about, which is our race, okay? I think I've been putting it on Facebook a lot so that I can show people who the real King Moshoeshoe is, right? It's our Aboriginal. So I stumbled on this trust, and this trust, they have actually broke down our royal homes, because we had kings, we had castles, we had a system, we had a governing system, we had an army, we had a strong army. They couldn't break us down for 100 years, from 1800 until 1900. Then they decided to poison our people, and that is how we became minority. Okay, that's also one of the things that they did. They're still doing it until today. So I saw this trust, and it's only now a couple of months ago that I stumbled on it, and I said, hey, and I always knew that the restitution of land claims actually comes from, they call it the Aboriginal title. But I didn't see the Aboriginal title. I saw it as a trust, but I didn't take it so deep to see what it is all about. And something just came to me, and I said, hey, but you know what? This trust here, I found a document, okay, from government, and it says that the state assumed responsibility as trustees. So if you're saying that you now, when you're doing a trust, you got to be a founder, you got to be the owner. And if you're going to be the trustee, So how did you become a trustee? You formed the trust, but you're not the owner. So how can you come and be the owner when you're not even, because they didn't get permission from us. All right? They didn't get permission from us. So they decided to, as guardianship, as they say, on behalf of our communities, meaning us, all right, that they will do this trust and control the system on behalf of us, all right? So they say in this Aboriginal title, which is the trust that they formed, and we as beneficiaries. So for number one, it is a crime to go and do a trust without the original founders of the trust. You can't go and make something on somebody else's property. That is already a crime. That's fraud. Then to still assign yourself as trustee, that's another crime. So that is what we charged him with. We charged him with that. And as beneficiaries, we never received anything from 1909. So why didn't we get anything? Because we didn't get no profit sharing. How many billions of, or not even billions or trillions, or I don't even know what is it, mega, whatever, trillions or whatever it is, that they have been sitting and having the wealth on behalf of us while we are sitting and being the paupers and being the beggars and getting doggy bags. I think it's about time.
Valerie, I want to know from you, so do you have a legal team that represents you?
I already done the case.
You've won it.
Yes.
So
the 31st of August.
Okay. So tell me, where are we now currently? Exactly where are you all in terms of receiving, getting back your land and the money or whatever? Or what have you all decided to do? Do you all just want a stipend from the current government, or you all want to take back the country?
We already took back the country.
Okay.
We got the country back already. All right? Because, as I said to you, my history, it comes from Queen, which is Letsi. They were actually king of the whole continent of Africa, which was called Ethiopia before. All right? So he was an Ethiopian king. He's a rightful king of Ethiopia. With that now, this is what I am taking back. I'm taking that on behalf of our Aboriginal. Okay? So when we took back our country, that means you as Aboriginal, meaning the colored supposed to be identity. But we're going away from the colored identity, because the colored identity keeps you from
subjection.
Exactly, from your wealth. All right? It keeps you away from your wealth. So we're going as Aboriginal, because the Aboriginal title trust, we are the Aboriginal of that trust. So we already got this country back, but we are not prepared yet. So we're doing phase one. Phase one is the database. We did collect some help from the people, those that could afford. We didn't ask anybody to say that you must give X amount of money. We did receive that money, and we got someone, an IT specialist, to do the board database for us. So we're going live on the 1st of November. We would like each and every of our nation, Aboriginal, to please put themselves on. First of all, you as a parent, you can do it for your children under the age of 18. Over the age of 18, they've got an ID card or whatever, they need to put their own, okay? The children, because they don't have ID cards, you can take your birth certificate's number and put it on there. It's not a very long one. We made it very short. It's just your ID number, your address, your name, your contact details.
Let's repeat the date that you're starting.
The 1st of November.
So from the 1st of November, you'll be up and running.
Yeah.
And will you all have like a link?
Yes.
Okay, the people can. Okay, so we'll have
so
to.
we put the link on. We put the link on the WhatsApp. All the wherever there's communication. It will even go on TikTok also.
Okay, Valerie, I think I'm converted now. You know, I'm glad that that you gave me the chance to interview you. What's happened, it's actually given me a clearer perspective of exactly what you're doing, because normally when it comes to finances, there's always corruption, and the minute people hear money, they say, oh, people, our colored people are after money, blah, blah, blah. But as you're saying, it's not an issue of entitlement, it's an issue of inheritance. Like if someone has left an inheritance to our colored people, then surely then they need to be the beneficiaries. So I also, okay, thank you on that matter. One last thing before we close this. Valerie, what is the difference between the Khoi people and the San people? Or are they the same people? And I also believe now, I've just learned of late, I think last week, where someone explained to me, well, never explained, but said to me, there's more than one group of KHOISAN people. So let's touch first on the KHOISAN. Are they the same? And then the different groups of that represent the KHOISAN.
KHOISAN we don't use. We don't use KHOISAN because KHOISAN means South African natives, and we're not South African natives. We actually stay away from the native word, indigenous word, KHOISAN and coloured. We actually stay away from those. There is Bushmen, which is the shorter people, and they're more stumpier. All right. Then you get the Hottentot, and then you get the Hottentot Kaffres. The Hottentot is two different, because of our
two different nations.
Yeah, because the one is, they're state, maybe the others are tall, others, that is why they are called different in different ways. With us, we don't have any squabbles about who's Bushman, who's Khoi, who's Pygmy, who's whatever. With us, we are open house. Everybody's welcome. We don't say that, oh, you come from this and you come from that. No. Another thing is I actually wanted to say is that one of the identities that we also did have. We're not the only ones that are the First Nation. It's the American. They were called Negroes. The Brazilian. They also our nation. Can you see how they separated us? That's why they took our people there to St. Helena Island. Those are our people. Madagascar, those are our people. They spread us around the world. And Negro, we were called Negro also. So what does Negro mean? Negro means Hebrew. They just took the N and they made it a H. And they made it a W at the end. So we are actually the Hebrew, the Ethiopians. Actually, Africa was called Ethiopia. And that is why I said the King Moshoeshoe was the king of Ethiopia. So that's our biblical history. So where I come, I don't use this KHOISAN and Khoi and Hottentot. I use the biblical history, because the biblical history will tell you that we were the first nation. We're the only people. Like, as I said, all the Negro people, which is the Hebrew people, are the first nation on this earth.
Thank you.
Not just South Africa.
Thank you, Valerie. Well, from people out there, if any of you got any inquiries and you want to follow Valerie Van Wyk, you can see Valerie on Facebook at Valerie Van Wyk. It's been awesome interviewing this morning. It's been so educational, and I hope that this brings more clarity to our community at large. Again, I want to thank you for the invite. It's been an awesome morning interviewing you, and it's so informative. Thank you, Valerie. From Zane Scarlett, from Cancers for Jesus, I'm out.